West, and this is Studio 7 on YouTube West. And today is a red letter day for me. That's right. I'm going to discuss probably my favorite movie of all time, the movie I was raised with, the movie that is very important to me personally, The Great Escape. It is a 1963 World War II POW movie. If you have to have movies with a girl in it or you won't watch it, give up on this video right now, because there are no women in this movie. It's not why I like it, I'm just pointing that out. You won't see any that have lines, you won't see any that look good, they just walk by in the background. This is a movie than one of the greatest exploits of World War II, the story of tunnels that were dug by American prisoners of war, British prisoners of war, and various other nations that were all in the Luft Stalag III. This movie has one heck of a cast, and I'm going to roll through it. It stars Steve McQueen, the King of Cool himself. If that's not enough, it has James Garner, Richard Attenborough, James Donald Pleasence, Charles Bronson, James Coburn, and David McCallum. It has a fantastic score by a man by the name of Elmer Bernstein. And I want you to watch very carefully and listen very carefully to the wonderful score in this movie, because it has a different timbre when they show Americans than when they show Germans. And it helps you understand kind of the differences that play off against each other as the Germans are the guards controlling the prisoners' lives and the prisoners are trying to escape. The screenplay is by James Clavell, who is an incredible writer in his own right, but also an incredible screenwriter. So you have a fantastic screenwriter. You have a set of probably 15 to 20 of the best actors available to do a movie of this kind in color for the Mirisch Corporation in this 7 out of 7 World War II production. But on top of the whole thing, you have one heck of a director by the name of John Sturges. This guy doesn't miss anything. He is a highly trained professional. Now, all the people in these movies were alive during World War II. Now, some of them were actually involved in World War II, and others were actually aware of it as children growing up. So it has a deep effect on them. The greatest generation, as we refer to in this movie, is portrayed. Now, why is this movie so important to me? I didn't fight in World War II. My father didn't fight in World War II. I've met many Medal of Honor winners and people that did fight in World War II and Vietnam and Korea. But I was sitting down at a Lions Club meeting one day, and I was talking to a guy across the table ahead in front of me who was quite older than I was, and he said he was a vet. And I said, "Oh, which conflict did you serve in?" And he said, "Well, I served in World War II." And I said, "What branch of the service were you in, sir?" And he said, "Well, I was in the Air Force and I was shot down and I was forced to stay in Luft Stalag III." And I said, "Oh, well, that's interesting." And the guy next to me and the guy next to me on the other side, and the guys next to him, except for the guy that he came with, said, "Why is that interesting?" And I said, "Do we have a program today?" And everybody said, "No, we don't have a program today." And so I said to the gentleman, I said, "Do you mind if I introduce you and tell your story?" And he goes, "No, go right ahead." So I got up to do a program because we didn't have a program today. And I told the story that you'll see in this movie, because that gentleman was actually part of The Great Escape. That's right, because Luft Stalag III was built to hold prisoners that had been trying to escape. It wasn't already there. So because it was built by them and started by them, everybody that was involved in the escape, from the forger to the cooler king to the tunnel diggers to the security folks, everybody involved was brought to that camp. So nobody was in that camp that wasn't part of The Great Escape. The plan to take 250 guys out. They got 75 out. It's an incredible story. I can't imagine anything stronger for a movie than a story like this. If you were to remake this movie today, you would destroy the wonderful feeling in this movie. And you're going, "Oh God, man, it's a prisoner of war movie." Okay, this is the last thing I'll tell you. It's got plenty of action. It's got plenty of intrigue. It has plenty of heart. It has plenty of soul. But it also reinforces why we watch war movies. I don't watch war movies to watch people get killed. I don't watch war movies to watch people blow shit up. I watch war movies because of the requirement, the drive, the willingness to sacrifice, the understanding of the task, the willingness to participate that is shown in these movies.